Jacob, thank you so much for joining me on Fox Sports all the way from sunny Spain on your summer break. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
No, it's no problem at all. It's nice to have a bit of time off now. It's been a pretty busy start to the season, so it's good to have 3 weeks just to back it down a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. And you're obviously fresh straight from the German Grand Prix. And while that race didn't necessarily go to plan, the start of this year has been really amazing from you. You've had multiple P8s, P10, P12s in all the 8 races. You scored points. And for a rookie in your first year in Moto3, that's just amazing. I want to know from you, how do you feel about the start of your Moto3 championship?
Yeah, I think it's a lot better than I was expecting. It was a bit of a shame in Germany to have a big moment and then to fall off. So because I do think that was my best race to date. But no, other than that, it's been really good. Points in all the races so far, except the previous one. And yeah, it's still got a lot to learn. Still a rookie, so it's still some big steps to make. But I feel I'm in the right direction with the team, and yeah, it's gone, yeah, a lot better than I was expecting for sure.
You just said then that you felt the German Grand Prix was your best race to date. Was there something that's changed or something that's clicked along your journey so far that has made you improve so much?
I think just the planning on the weekends before, it was kind of working with the teammates and seeing what the others were doing. But no, now it's just my crew chief and engineer. We discuss a plan and we stick to it, and yeah, we really work towards the race, not the one lap pace. So I think it definitely helped us in the last round. Because I do feel a lot stronger in the races compared to before. But no, it's just yeah, basically following our own path, and I think, yeah, in that sense, focusing on myself rather than the others has helped a lot with the progression in that sense.
I guess one of the thought process I had with you going into such a well-known team as the Gas Gas team is, and having Hervé Poncharal as the leader, everything like that, it would come with its own set of pressures. Have you felt anything like that jumping into such a well-known team?
Yes and no. Of course, you're in one of the top teams, so you have to perform. So there is the pressure in that sense. But uh, until now, I've kind of like it's been a rookie, so I can continue learning step by step. Now I think for the second half of the season, I have a little bit more pressure and a little bit more expectation. But nothing over the top. I'm not expected to go win every race. But no, it was clear that I was the second rider for the season. And to help Danny, my teammate, as much as I could, and to learn from him. And yeah, it's been working well in with that. And yeah, I've learned a lot from him, and yeah, starting to catch up, which is quite nice. And yeah, yeah, especially with all the bosses as well, all the Red Bull bosses, all the PM Mobility KTM bosses. It's them always there, always watching, always in the box. It does come with its own pressure as well. You do have to perform. You do have to be uh, in a professional manner, 24/7 on a race weekend. So yeah, in that sense, you do have to yeah, kind of be yeah, kind of I don't know the
On
word.
your A game all the time and just to try and keep
Yeah,
improving, I'm
all the end
guessing.
game all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to always be seen learning, and yeah, not just being fast on the bike and being a kind of good person often with the media sense as well. Then yeah, it's yeah, everything that you do, you got to be on point for all of it.
Yeah, no, completely. I can only, I guess, relate as best as I can. And you mentioned the media there. I wanted to know, jumping from the European Championship, which we'll talk about shortly, into Moto 3, what was that transition like? But also from not just necessarily on the bike, but with this whole world circus, we could almost call it, that is the MotoGP paddock. What was that like for you?
It was a lot smoother than I was expecting, to be honest. Racing in the Red Bull Rookies Cup for the past 2 years as well, the Junior GP World Championship. It does help. I think if it wasn't for the Rookies Cup, then it would be a lot more daunting. But I think because I've was been in the paddock for the last 2 years, so you kind of know your way around a little bit and kind of know some familiar faces. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the kind of schedule to schedule times and everything's set to perfect time and everything runs on the clock. So that's the thing that I've had to get used to as well. I haven't been too used to having interviews and things like this and the media things, but I do enjoy it. For a rookie and someone starting off in the championship, I don't have as much as others, but no, it's been nice to do it and yeah, see a lot of people interest and for the hero walks and the fan parades to people to like know your name and to ask for photos. It's a really special moment to have that and yeah, it's nice for sure. It's yeah, a you think for a Moto3 rookie, the whole attention's on MotoGP, but it's cool to see the amount of people that are like even on the track at early in the mornings and like Saturday we have our sessions at 8:40 and sometimes the track's already packed. So it's really cool to have that atmosphere, which I really love.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool to hear that there's so many fans for you guys as well. We only see what we see on the TV, right? But to hear that there's people there supporting you and you're getting so much with Moto 3, that's amazing. I guess the next question I wanted to ask, and you kind of led to that a little bit, was also transitioning to Moto 3 on the bike. How was that for you? Was it quite a big jump from what you were doing with the Junior GP and the Red Bull rookies, or did it feel quite natural?
It was a big step, but at the end of the day, it's more or less the same concept of bike as the Junior World Championship, I mean Junior GP. Although KTM bought a new bike to this year, there's been some getting used to. My two teammates in last year in Aspire Junior team were riding those prototype bikes, so it was a little bit of um, a little bit of a look at what was happening. To be honest, I wasn't allowed to know half the things that what they were testing as it was a prototype, but no, to kind of see what they were doing and to learn, seeing what my two teammates did, I think has helped a little bit. For sure, was still a lot to get used to. Although it's more or less the same bike, you have all the brand new up to date factory parts. So yeah, it's different clutches, different brakes, just the small little things that don't mean a lot, but it's still a bit to get used to. It took me probably 3 races to finally figure out the clutch, and yes, still now I'm having troubles off the start. But no, it's been a good jump in that sense that it's been quite easy. Because at the end of the day, it's a Moto3. You have to ride it fast and although it's a little bit different of a style now, you don't do the regular point and shoot with the KDM. It's good to see the more flow that you have with it and yeah, as well with the Pirelli tires, it's made it a lot faster. Like for me being maybe 15th in the session and then breaking the lap record from the previous year, you're still 15th in the session, so it's a lot faster in with the tires as well and with the bikes. But no, it's good to get the grips quite early with it. Although it's a lot different to the Red Bull rookies as well. it's some things that you can take from the Rookies Cup where you aren't able to set up the bike like you can in the junior GP. It's basically you make one or two small changes and you have to kind of adapt to the bike. So that's a good help to learn that you have to kind of figure it out yourself a little bit in that sense and learn to adjust your riding style to handle the bike and the new tires as well.
That's one thing I was just thinking when you were talking then. Did you have to adjust your riding style quite a lot when you came over into Moto3?
Yeah. So in 2020, I had the style that I kind of have now, and then I had to build on that, and then I had to get rid of it the last 2 years to ride the older Moto3 machine, and then now you have to bring it back. So it's kind of my more style, a bit more flowy and a bit more smooth compared to the point and shoot that it's previously been for the KTM Moto3. So no, now to get your head around it, it's difficult to kind of switch back to it because you learn the tracks with the style and lines. But no, it's been a kind of big step compared to the like I've had to learn a lot in the past 4 years being here, just small things. But no, it's yeah, you've had to adjust just about everything on the bike, from braking to head position to everything coming now in World Championship.
That's amazing. Just to hear that from the jump from there to there, it's a completely different change. And I guess for us who are fans of the sport, we don't necessarily get to know or hear about this. When I was doing some research on you, it was quite cool to see that when I go all the way back to your younger years, even though you're a little younger now as it is, you came from dirt track, just like Casey Stoner and like Chris Vermeulen. And I was wondering if that dirt track background that you had, if that would actually affect or come into play or even influence your riding style now. When you said you're quite smooth on the bike, I thought, dirt track would make sense. Do you find that there's a big connection there?
Yeah, absolutely. I still to this date, probably every 2 weeks, ride flat track as much as I can. So it is a big kind of help and it's a good cross training because it's the closest you can kind of get to compared to riding on kart tracks and smaller road bikes. It's the same feeling that you have with the front tire sliding, the rear sliding. So I think it's a very good training. The flat track in Europe and in Spain is a little bit different to the Australian one. Australian, you're not having to work the front just as much because it's a bit fast, but here they have a lot of like the TT tracks and stuff like that. So it is good to have learnt more of how to ride that style, and that for sure has helped me a lot to this day. And I think it'll be one of my main sources of training for my whole career.
What other styles of training do you find have helped you so far? So you've mentioned flat track. I'm guessing you do a lot of gym work and a lot of cardio to try and stay as lean as you can. How much time do you spend doing that type of training, and how much time are you spending on the bike in a Monday to Friday before you head off to a race meeting?
Generally on the like the preseason, of course, it's a lot more. Basically trying to ride 3 to 4 times a week. But during the season, if it's maybe back-to-back races, I might just like to ride once or twice and not kind of lose the feeling that I had from the previous round. But no, for the off bike training, I've had to build kind of a lot of muscle the past 2 years and kind of put on a little bit of weight in that sense. So it's been usually 2 to 3 strength sessions a week, and every off day some like a type of cardio or bike training or stuff like that my trainer set me. But no, I think like now in the summer break, so originally before flat track was motocross for a few years, and I love motocross as for a training sense. So yeah, as much time as I get, whether it's maybe more than a 2 week break, then I'll try to do 2 or 3 motocross sessions because that's really good high intensity heart rate training and to really kind of build your bike fitness. So yeah, I like to train anything trials, flat track, like supermoto on the kart track. It's generally the only thing like I think that will assist me is what I love to do. And yeah, it's good that I like bikes, so I'm able to ride anyone.
It's good that you like bikes. I love that. That's brilliant. I just wanted to change direction a little bit and talk about your big move. I heard this funny story about the fact that you obviously moved from Australia to Europe, but you arrived at a really interesting time. And I'm thinking it was around early 2020. Can you talk us about your big move over to Europe and then what happened?
Yeah, so it was intentionally a year earlier than we would have hoped. An offer came up to race in the European Talent Cup, so we didn't have any other plans, so we decided why not? Let's just go try it for a year. So Mum and I moved over, and my dad and my sister stayed at home for the short 3 months that we were thinking that until they could come over. But yeah, basically arrived, Mum and I, for a week or week and a half, and then we had our first test with the European Talent Cup team just west of Barcelona. And yeah, halfway through the day, everyone started getting phone calls and had to pack up and go basically straight into lockdown. Um, Good welcome to Spain. That Mum and I who basically drove back. We were kind of staying in like a hotel apartment that we managed to find. And we went back, tried to get whatever we could from the supermarket, and it's basically boom straight into 105 days of lockdown, which was very uh, testing of Mum and I's relationship, that to be in close quarters, but we still love each other, which is perfect. But no, it's been that was a very difficult time. A lot more for my mum to be away from the family, because it was, yeah, basically we couldn't do anything out of the hotel. This hotel luckily was able to stay open. I think it maybe being one of them in the Catalonia region, because they had two international families that had basically nowhere to go. So the hotel people were really, really nice to do everything that they could to help us. And luckily there was like an underground car park that uh like I'd brought my mountain bike over with us and stuff like that. And I was able to at least ride the 100-meter garage to burn off energy for 20 minutes a day. So yeah, it was difficult time. Uh, we weren't sure if we were going to go back to Australia, because we figured, yeah, it might be too difficult to come back over, and how Australia hadn't been kind of the same scale that it was in Europe. We thought it may things may open up here a bit quicker, and luckily we did make that change, because we were able to start the season mid of the year around, and we're able to get from like the high high level athletes were able to get training permits and things like this. So then we we're finally able to train. So yeah, it was a big big experience. Something that I hope I don't have to do again. But no, it was good. It was, yeah, interesting things that we found to adapt to life that we were doing. But no, to have every day basically structured as we could, as structured as we could, finishing doing schoolwork like normal hours. And yeah, then maybe we were able to, I think it was anyone over the age of 18 was able to go out for groceries or something like this, to walk to the grocery store and back. So we'd chucked a mask on me, and gave me an empty grocery bag to walk outside for 20 minutes, pretending I was going to the grocery store just so I could get some fresh air. But no, it was good. It was, yeah, different, nothing I'd experienced before. Kind of seen a whole basically town shut down, and it was funny. We were looking at, like, out of the hotel window was a bunch of apartment blocks, and it was funny seeing all the different lights and seeing people running out on the veranda doing laps to their house and finding any way to move, which was, yeah, it was a bit of a comedy show sometimes.
I'm sure that's something you're never going to ever forget. But something that I feel like you're definitely also never going to forget is your first race back at Phillip Island as part of the Moto3 World Championship later this year in October. Tell us, how do you feel about coming home to race in front of all of the Australian fans?
I'm super, super excited. I don't think I'm expecting. I've never been to Phillip Island MotoGP. I've only ridden at Phillip Island 2 or 3 times, I think. So for sure, still a bit to learn on the track sense. But no, it's. I think it's going to be very special for me because majority of my family haven't been able to watch me race in person in over 4 years. My grandparents were lucky enough to come over in 2022 for a couple of weeks, but other than that, my aunties and uncles haven't been able to. My sister only kind of once at the start of 2022. So yeah, it's going to be very special. I don't think I'm ready for how kind of major it's going to be. But no, it's going to be awesome. Hopefully the weather's well. That's the only thing I'm expecting to have good weather, hopefully. But no, yeah, I think it's going to be a very special event, and yeah, some special things will be arranged to have. Yeah, later on to be announced for a little island specialty, which will be nice.
You had this here, folks. There's something exciting coming from Jacob Roulstone. But before we let you go,
Hopefully, a first win in Phillip Island.
oh,
That
imagine
would be good.
that. First win, home Grand Prix. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Okay, we're going to make that happen as best we can. Look, before we let you go, I wanted to ask what your expectations, or what are you working on apart from that first win at the home Grand Prix? What are you working on for the remainder of the season?
Basically, the same plan as the start of the season. Into heading into the first race, I just wanted to get top 20 and maybe 1 or 2 points. So the expectations changed a bit now that it's the second half of the season. But the main goal is to be rookie of the year and to kind of win that championship in that sense that yeah, it's going to be close because it's all the boys that have raced the last Angel Piqueras, who's the close second just behind him. I've raced him since my first race in Spain. So it's yeah, very strong rivals, but no, good. That's my main goal. I'd love to get a podium or two through the rest of the season. But no, just to continue to work, continuing to improve each round and each race and each session. So yeah, make everyone of the bosses happy, continuing to make the Hervé and all the PM Ability bosses and RedBull bosses happy is always a great thing. And yeah, just the main goal is rookie of the year and to hopefully secure a ride for next year would be another great thing as well. So yeah, I'm excited to keep racing. I think some 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 interesting tracks that neither the rookies have rided or myself. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be for sure difficult season, the rest of the part of the season. But I've got the best team around me and the best people supporting me to make that happen.
Oh, we're so excited to see you finally on that podium in Moto3. And also, we can't wait to see you in action at Phillip Island in October. You have all of Australia backing you, Jacob, and we wish you all the best for the remainder of the season. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me at Fox Sports.
Thank you for having me and see you all at the island.